There's in the pelvis there is an external iliac, which attribute external and internal iliac. We are concerned with internal iliac vein. There is a plexus, pelvic plexus, that end by internal iliac vein, and medially or medial-posteriorly there is a medial sacral vein. خذوا بريك 10 دقائق وارجعوا عشان المحاضرة اللي بعدها إن شاء الله. What about the anatomy of the urinary bladder and urethra? Yes, next. Now, as you see, this is a urinary bladder, which is considered to be a hollow, stimulable, and muscular organs. That's mean muscular organ that's composed from mainly from muscle. There is an interior layer of muscle, and inside there is a mucosa. Whatever, you have to know that the urinary bladder was considered to be a pelvic organ. It's completely a pelvic organ. And you have to know that in male, it's located anterior just to the rectum. You see, this is a rectum and this is a urinary bladder, which is located anterior to the rectum, whereas in female, it's located anterior to the vagina and inferior to the uterus. For example, you know, خلينا نوصل للفيميل ونحكي عن اليوترس لأنه مهمة. Now, again, in female it's anterior to the vagina and inferior to the uterus, and you have to know that in infant, that means in children, the urinary bladder was located mainly in the abdomen, and at 6 years of age, it go down into still false pelvis, for what we call the greater pelvis. You know that the greater pelvis is an alternative for false pelvis. Methane false pelvis, greater pelvis. But what about the true pelvis? The alternative name is pelvic cavity. Next, please. Now, about the cavity of, or the capacity of the urinary bladder, about 5 to 800 millimeter. Yes.
Oh, almost filter.
As you see, this is a urinary bladder again, and this is a uterus. You see, but you can see here is the peritoneum. This red line, you see this red line? شايفينه? This is a peritoneum, so that the peritoneum covers the, this is a urinary bladder, so that the peritoneum covers the superior surface of the urinary bladder and continue with the uterus, so that this is called pouch. But what's the name of this pouch? This is pouch between the urinary bladder and what? Uterus. So that, and you know that the urinary bladder is considered to be a like vesicle, يعني وعائي, something يعني وعائي, because it contains a urine fluid. That's mean. So that this is pouch called
uterovisceral.
Utero from uterus, not uretro. Utero, not uretro. Vesical pouch. So that this is a pouch called vesical pouch. Now, the peritoneum is continue above the uterus and continue to cover an anterior surface of rectum. So that also there is another pouch, so that in female there is 2 pouch, but in male there is 1 pouch. In female there is 2 pouch, the anterior one is uterovesical pouch. أنا بحكي عن مهلي عشان تستوعب اللي بحكيه، عشان تستوعب شو بحكي، عشان أفصفص لك إياها، عشان تحفظها على مهلك. So that this is a I can't say uterovesical pouch. ضل ساعتين تتحلل فيها. So that this is a uterovesical pouch, and this is recto-uterine pouch. This is recto-uterine pouch, because this pouch between the rectum and uterus, recto-uterine pouch. This is a uterovesical pouch. Sometimes you will see, for example, or you read in textbook, not uterovesical pouch, vesico-uterine pouch. No matter, it's correct, yes.
الريكتو يوتراين باوتش بالميل شو اسمه؟ لانه هي بالفيميل صح؟
ريكتو فيزيكال باوتش بالميل.
ريكتو فيزيكال
لانه ما في عنده الميل يوترس، في عنده يورينري بلادر صح؟
ريكتو فيزيكال حصير.
يس راح نشوف النكست سلايد. بالميل
ريكتو فيزيكال
في هاي اليورينري بلادر، هون راح يكون الريكتم، فالباوتش بكون هيك ما بين الريكتم وما بين اليورينري بلادر، فبنسميه
ريكتو فيزيكال باوتش.
ريكتو فيزيكال باوتش. Next please. Yes. These about, not about the benefit. These pouch are a continuation for the peritoneum that cover the superior and anterior surface of the part of abdominal and pelvic organs. You see? This is a cover. This is a cover for that organ. And this is prevent sometimes from spread of infection, participate in limiting and to prevent the spread of infection, you know. Next. This, you see, and this is a rectum, and this is a urinary bladder, and this is for what we, this is a pouch called rectovesical pouch. You see, rectovesical pouch, because this is posterior, rectum and anterior urinary bladder. Next, please. Next. Next. You see, this is a urinary bladder. This is an anterior view. Anterior border or anterior surface has been removed, so that, as you see, this is an left ureter and this is a right ureter that passes the urinary bladder from about the lateral posterior surface. And this is an opening of ureter from both sides. There is a mucosa, smooth mucosa lined the urinary bladder and exactly line the floor, so that you see this is a trigon. And the upper border of trigon, this is a triangular in shape. There is, as I said, two openings of ureter, and between two openings there is inter-ureteric ridge. This is a muscle, okay? And this is an internal urethral orifice through which the urine go down from urinary bladder through the urethra. This is the muscle, transverse muscle of the urinary bladder. Next, please. Next. Again, next. You see, this is an anterior surface. This is for what we call the apex. This is the apex that attached to the umbilicus with median umbilical ligament. And this is the base, or alternative name for base is a posterior surface, and it's a triangular shape. You see, this is the diagram. This is a posterior surface or the base, and mainly it's occupied with vast difference and seminal vesicle. You see, and this is a superior surface that covered with peritoneum, and there is inferior-lateral surface. Inferior-lateral surface, and as you see, this is a prostate gland. And the neck, there is a neck here, neck of urinary bladder. The neck of urinary bladder located above the prostate gland. Next, please. Next. Now about next, about your arteries. You see, this is a urinary bladder. There is a superior. صبي خلص بكفي. There is a superior and inferior vesical artery. There is superior and inferior vesical artery. You know, this physical content that means contain a urine, a fluid, so that it's very easy to know the blood supply for the urinary bladder. There is just superior and there is a superior and inferior vesical artery. This is an inferior vesical artery and should be there, the superior vesical artery, and both superior and inferior vesical artery. Do you remember before that about the internal iliac artery? I had said that the internal iliac artery has anterior division and posterior division, yes? The anterior division has umbilical artery. The umbilical artery gives two branches, superior vesical and obliterated one. Now this is superior vesical. Now there is also another branch for internal iliac artery called inferior vesical artery. So that there is superior and inferior vesical artery are a branch of internal iliac artery, and those arteries supply the urinary bladder. Yes.
The superior and inferior vesical artery in male. كمان في female يعني نفسها.
The superior and inferior.
The arteries is the same, male and female, because the internal iliac artery is an internal iliac artery, either male or female. But there is also another arteries. Understand? Yes. Now we see this is a seminal vesicle. This is what? Seminal vesicle. Just you have to memorize that. This is a seminal vesicle, which is considered to be a gland that regarding to the male genitals, okay? And you see this is an inferior vesical artery, so that the seminal vesicle, the blood supply for seminal vesicle is
inferior vesical
artery, and this is very important. This is very important, okay? You see this is inferior vesical artery, and the inferior vesical artery with superior vesical artery supply urinary bladder, and the inferior vesical artery supplying this the seminal vesicle. You see, this is a seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle supplied by inferior vesical artery. So, next. Yes, that's it. As you see, this is the neck of the urinary bladder that passes the prostate gland, and you see the prostate gland has anterior lobe, medial one, posterior one, and two lateral. Whatever. Now what about the urethra? The urethra has three branches. The superior one and the widest one is prostatic urethra, because it passes the prostate gland. Prostatic urethra. And there is a membranous urethra, because it passes the deep perineal pouch and perineal membrane, so that it's called membranous urethra. Now we have prostatic urethra. شباب خليكم معي، ما تجيش تسمع عادي حضرت تقدر هذا ما فيش مشكلة، بس تأكد اسمك موجود وبتصير عادي ما فيش عندي مشكلة. أنا أكثر عقاب إنه ما تعرفش أنا عن إيش بحكي، لأنه عقدتنا مرة عليه سلع أسئلة. Now, what about the urethra again? Three-part prostatic urethra, membranous urethra, and pineal or spongy urethra. This is the third part of urethra. Next, please. That's it. This is about urinary bladder.
رائع. 35 سلايد. خلاص. لكن يكونوا
Just want to talk about male genital organs. Now you know that maybe you know that the male genital organs is composed from gonads. The male is the testis, and there is a ducts, and there is an accessory sex glands, and there is a supporting structure regarding, for example, the scrotum, spermatic cord, and penis. Now you see this as seminal vesicle that's supplied by what? Inferior vesical artery. Next, please. Now, this is a general area. As you see, this is a urinary bladder that passes by the ureter. And this is a prostatic gland. This is anterior division of prostatic gland. This is a medial lobe, and this is a posterior one, and there is the remaining two lateral on each side. And you know maybe that the prostatic gland is encircled with a fibrous capsule. And again, regarding to the test of the prostatic gland, you have to insert your index finger as you wearing a gloves. Insert your index finger inside the rectum of the patient so that you can assess if there is an prostatic hypertrophy. يعني إذا في ضخم بالبروستات, yes, the main ideal manner to make a physical examination regarding to the prostatic gland using your index finger with the gloves so that you can palpate the prostate gland if it is hypertrophied. If it is hypertrophied. Yes. Next, please. Next. Also, next. Yes, that's it. You see, this is this for what we call also like gonads. So why that's it? That's it. Now, as you see, this and it's encircled with about 8 layers. It started from here: skin, superficial fascia, that's muscle, spermatic fascia, and spermatic fascia has 3 layers: external spermatic fascia, middle one, or cremasteric fascia, the middle one, and internal spermatic fascia, and there is a tunica vaginalis, and as you see this red color of tunica vaginalis, and you see that the tunica vaginalis, this is anterior, and this is posterior side, so that the tunica vaginalis cover the superior, inferior, anterior, and 2 lateral side of the testis, but there is a defect posteriorly. There is a defect posteriorly, as you see. It's not covered posteriorly. But also, inside the tunica vaginalis, there is a fibrous tissue, fibrous connective tissue, called tunica albuginea. And this is tunica albuginea divided the testis in 2 lobules. This lobule, another one. Each lobules contain from 1 to 3 seminal or seminiferous tubules. You see, this is a seminiferous tubules, and the seminiferous tubules is where the synthesis of sperm occurs. يعني هو المسؤول عن صناعة السبيرمز الحيوانات المنوية. The seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules were supplied or powered with their sperm to an extended area for what we call a mediastinum testis. This is thickening area called or directed posteriorly called mediastinum testis, and it is a posterior thickening of the tunica albuginea. A red color. This is a red color tunica albuginea. A blue color, sorry. The red color is tunica vaginalis. Now, the tunica albuginea, which are blue color, have a posterior extension called mediastinum testis, through which the seminiferous tubules emerge and sperm inside. So, from mediastinum testis, these sperm emerge through rete testis. Through rete testis, then from rete testis to the efferent duct, and from efferent duct to the epididymis. This is an epididymis called muscular tube. Epididymis. The epididymis have a head, body, and tail. And those, the posterior surface of the testis. If you, I mean in anatomical position, this is an anterior surface, and this is a posterior one. So that the epididymis located posterior, excellent. And the epididymis will store the spermatozoa, spermatozoa until and nourish it until it mature. Then it will transfer through the vas deferens. Okay? Yes. Yeah. In epididymis until it mature. حتى يعني تنضج الحيوانات المنوية and then to expelled to the vas deferens. This is a vas deferens, and the vas deferens also is a muscular tube also. But the highly lobulated and tertious tube is the epididymis, about 6 meters. Next please. Next. Yes, about the blood supply, you know that the blood supply for testis and epididymis is testicular artery. So that testis and epididymis supplied by testicular artery, either right or left. But what about the vein? You know that the right testicular vein attribute to what? To inferior vena cava. But what about the left testicular vein?
Left renal vein.
Yes, the left renal vein. So that this is one of the risk factor that participate in varicocele.
Dawali. Dawali?
Yes. Varicocele, yes. Dawali khasiya. Next please. Next. You see, this is a spermatic cord, and you know the spermatic cord have a vas deferens. You see vas deferens. This is an testis, and this is an epididymis. So that after the epididymis, this is the head of epididymis, body and tail, and now it started vas deferens. You see. This is the shadow of vas deferens. This is a vas deferens. You see, this is a vas deferens. So there is a spermatic cord. Inside it, you can find what? Vas deferens, testicular artery, autonomic nervous system, lymphatic testicular blood vessels. What else? Deep branch, yes? I'm talking about the spermatic cord. مش عارف إذا في شو اسمه. شوف السلايد بعد إذا كانت أوضح. Next. Yes. This is a testis, and this is for what we call spermatic cord. Spermatic cord. It is composed from 3 layers of membrane. Now, there is a testicular artery. There is a vas deferens that carries a sperm. There is a vein, testicular vein, or they are make a plexus called pampiniform plexus. Yes, pampiniform plexus. There is autonomic nerves, or there is a deep branch, or for what we call a genital branch of genitofemoral nerve. You remember the lumbar plexus? Who's remember? Another one. حدا متذكر lumbar plexus?
Of course.
Can you mention 3 of lumbar plexus?
3 lumbar plexus.
Identify 3 branch of lumbar plexus.
عنا sciatic. Sciatic. ولا غلطان؟ غلطان.
بنات identify 3 branch of lumbar plexus.
غلطان معي.
Wait. Yes. خلي الشباب يسمعوا. obturator nerve هاي واحد. قلتك تقولي إيليو inguinal nerve، إيليو hypogastric nerve، قلتك تقولي femoral nerve، قصدك تقول obturator nerve. تعرفوا تكتبوهن؟ تعرفوا؟ طيب again one of these branch إذا بدكم تزيدوا المعلومات one of these branch is called of lumbar plexus called what? Genitofemoral branch. That means genital branch and femoral branch. The femoral branch supply some skin in thigh. But what about the genital branch? It passes through the spermatic cord to supply the testis and epididymis, this nerve, so that the genital branch of genitofemoral nerve passes through spermatic fascia, a cremastic artery for epididymis. All these structure passes through spermatic fascia. Next, please. Next. You see again, this is a testis, this is an epididymis, this is a head, body, and tail of epididymis. Now, at the tail of epididymis started the beginning of vas deferens. You see, this is a vas deferens. It's continue. You see, this is a vas deferens. It's made across or at the medial side of the ureter. Now, after it crosses, it will form an ampulla. You see, ampulla of ductus deferens. شايفة من عندك بالأخير؟ شايفة؟ شو هاي؟
ampulla of vas deferens.
شو؟
ampulla of vas deferens.
ampulla of
ductus deferens.
Ductus deferens. So that the distal end of your banat, it's very important that the distal end of the vas deferens is ampulla of
ductus deferens.
This is a ductus deferens. This is a ductus deferens, so that the distal end or the final end of the ductus deferens is
the ampulla.
Ampulla of ductus deferens. Ampulla of ductus deferens. So that again and again the final or distal structure of the vas deferens is the ampulla of the ductus deferens. And you know what of ampulla? That means extended part. For example, this microphone, this is ampulla. Ampulla is extended like things. Okay? تعرفوا أمبولة الدواء الأمبولة. Yes. Now you see this is a seminal vesicle, and the seminal vesicle is considered a gland that secretes like a fluid participating in the semen. يعني بالسائل المنوي there is a sperm from testis ascend after it expelled in epididymis, expelled in the vas deferens until it reached to the ampulla of the vas deferens. It had vas deferens or ductus deferens is the same. Those two alternative name. So that, as you see, there is a united between the seminal vesicle that participate in secretion of the semen and located at two sides of the posterior surface of urinary bladder. You see, this is a urinary bladder and this is a posterior surface of urinary bladder. So that on right and left there is an ampulla and there is a seminal vesicle. Those are united with each other to form what?
Ejaculatory duct.
Ejaculatory duct. What's the meaning of ejaculatory duct? معناتها القناة القاذفة. القناة معناتها القناة القاذفة ejaculatory duct. And you see this is a prostate gland, this is anterior lobe, and this is a middle lobe that located between prostatic urethra and ejaculatory duct. And this is a membranous urethra, and this is a spongy urethra or penile urethra, okay? Now you have to know something. That the unique duct that transmits and sperms or semen in the prostate is ejaculatory duct, because there is an urethral, yes, prostatic urethra. This is a prostatic urethra, but not carries semen or sperm. So that the unique duct that carry sperm and semen is ejaculatory duct, and it's very important. In addition to the ampulla, okay? Next please. This is about seminal vesicle. Next. This is about supply. Seminal vesicle is very important. This is inferior vesical artery. You see this is a posterior surface of the urinary bladder, and in each side there is for what you call an ampulla of vas deferens, and seminal vesicle on each side. And seminal vesicle is supplied by inferior vesical artery. What about the distal part of the vas deferens is the ampulla, and you see the ampulla is united with the seminal vesicle to form an ejaculatory duct, and there is two ejaculatory ducts on each side of the prostatic gland, and those expel the semen and fluid. And you have to know that the prostatic gland is a fibromuscular glandular tissue that contains a glandular part and a fibromuscular part, and it has an what we call like milky secretion. Milky secretion. The semen has a milky like color, so that is possible. This is what coming from the prostatic gland, and there is also another accessory gland for what we call an pulpourethral gland, and those opening into the proximal part of the spongy urethra and expel an mucus-like secretion. You know, the semen has an milky-like, mucus-like consistency, so that the milky characteristic come from prostatic gland, and mucus-like characteristic for the semen is come from pulpourethral gland. Next please. Next. Yes, next. Now about blood supply for the prostate gland is also inferior vesical artery and middle rectal artery. From where middle rectal artery? When middle rectal artery? من وين؟ الانترنال إيليك. يس. الانترنال إيليك. السوبيريور فيزيكال ارتري والانفيريور فيزيكال اخوه يعني superior vesical artery واخوه الانفيريور فيزيكال artery والميدل rectal artery. Those are from internal iliac. Next please. ما حكينا عنها. Next. This is regarding clinical importance regarding to benign hypertrophy of prostate. As I said, it's mainly occurred in the middle lobe, and in the malignant prostate it feels hard and often irregular as you make a physical examination from the rectum. Next please. Regarding the penis, there is a root, there is a body, and there is a glans, and the root that means the attached part, and abdominal part is the body, and the glans is the distal conical part. Next I will see. Next. So that there is a cross section of the penis. It's composed from 3 erectile tissue. 2 of them are called corpus cavernosum, and this is corpus spongiosum, through which you remember mainly that sponge urethra. It passes through corpus spongiosum, and this is the lower one, and have a urethra. And on the other hand, there is two corpus cavernosum, or corpora cavernosa, to be a plural, I mean. And those are parasitic with the central artery, those the responsibility for the friction. Okay? And they are supplied with or filled with blood. Now, regarding the vein, you see there is a dorsal vein. There is a superficial or deep one, and there is a central artery. And in the spongy one, on corpus spongiosum, I mean, there is a urethra, and all these three structures are encircled with a fibrous membrane called tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea. Next, please. Yes. This is base, and this is a body, and this is a glans penis. And regarding to the arteries, they are supplied by pudendal artery, internal pudendal artery. Yes, from where internal pudendal artery كمان من internal ileus. Yes, next. Above the vein, as I said, there is a deep and there is a superficial dorsal vein. Next. Next. That's it. يعطيكم العافية. بس ثواني والله. عفوا وين حاتم يحيى؟
منو